Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet.
Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen. Welcome back to Autism Live. We're here with Dr. Doreen Grand-Pichet, and she's answering your questions in real time with Ask Dr. Doreen. I mentioned before the last break that we were going to take a question. Now, Pearl has written in on YouTube, and Pearl, I have to be honest that I'm not sure that I'm following exactly what it is that you're asking, but I think, and so write in and tell me if I've got it wrong, that basically the child has a non-ABA trained coach. And when the coach is there giving one-to-one, he's not learning through observation with other kids. He is not given any kind of reinforcement. I'm currently using skills. Can you please suggest any ABA techniques to be used? But I think that the one-on-one is at school, but maybe not. Maybe it's at home. But the person, when that person is doing something, they don't learn through observation with other kids.
Yeah, I mean, I think you know, the two techniques are obviously modeling, basically, you know, having the child pay attention to other kids and then reinforcing when they imitate the other kids. So if the coach could perhaps just, instead of trying to have the child do what he does, ask the child to look at the other kids and then reinforce that, maybe that's what you're asking. But thanks for using skills. I'm glad you're using it and enjoying it. I would really suggest that you look at IBT, because that's where you'll find a lot of the procedures. And of course, skills and IBT are connected now, but it's super important to look at the techniques. And then maybe you can purchase a module on IBT for this coach. Like we used to do that quite a bit, and like send a gift to a teacher. And the modules are like, you know, $7 or $10 or something, but they're really good, and it might be very helpful for the coach.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things that I was saying to somebody yesterday, if I could give a gift to every parent, it would be to give them the ability to like somehow waive HIPAA and have every single parent go into an autism center for a couple of hours. Right. And just watch therapists work with kids that aren't theirs. Right. Because they would learn so much, it would quiet so many fears, like so much would make sense, because you would see thousands of different techniques employed in thousands of different ways just to teach that individual child. Right. So that you would see that it isn't a if P then Q, it's a toolbox. Right. And then you take tools and everybody uses the tools in different ways to work with that individual to help them to learn. I get so excited when I get an opportunity to be at a center, because I just learn so much, and I wish that everybody had the opportunity to do that. Honestly. And if you did, you would be, like I sort of picture like Pinterest shows you all these different ways to do things, but if we could have Pinterest for autism and show all the different techniques that therapists use with different kids, and how it's just absolutely amazing. So there are so many ways to do this. Sure, absolutely. And I just in the experience that I've had, you know, watching people in a classroom or other ways of prompting a child to notice what the other people are doing. Definitely. That some kids, it's just a gesture that they just look at another child. They go like, you know, look and see what they're doing. And for some kids, that's enough, and they go, oh, what is that kid doing? And when they get reinforced for doing what that kid is doing, wonga, we've arrived, right? For other kids, you know, they hold up a little, you know, icon. Absolutely. That shows looking at another kid, and they go, oh, that's right, I'm supposed to be checking in and doing that. Right. For another kid, the teacher says, hey, what's everybody else doing? Right. Right. You know, and all those ways plus 100 more are valid. It's just what works for this individual child. For this particular child, right. But you can learn amazing things. You can learn the baseline of it on IBT.
Yes,
And
definitely.
and
That's
then
a good
you can go
place to go.
into skills and find the specific lessons. And what I find really helpful are with each lesson, there's teaching notes at the bottom of them, which those are all the, I didn't think of that.
And also on that note, there is a lesson called observational learning.
Yeah. So,
Might be helpful.
so there's all those different things. But the shortcut would be, if you could, if HIPAA allowed it, to go to a center and just sit there
Yeah.
and watch a bunch of people work with a bunch of kids.
That's right.
And you would go, oh,
That's how
the
it
lights are on. Absolutely amazing. Okay, well, we have time then for one more question. I'm going to pick the one, how can I help my nephew learn to communicate with me?
Right. That's awesome that you're writing in, and that's wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, I wish I could just give you a short answer to that. I don't know anything about your nephew, so. And our kids, you know, they communicate in multiple different ways. Our kids, some of them are verbal, some of them are completely nonverbal, and they are communicating through iPads, they are communicating through picture exchange systems on the wall, some are even communicating through sign. The key to it, I think, is that whatever the modality that is appropriate for the child or that the child is capable of, that you start with essentially what we call MANs. MANs are requests, and they are internally motivated, obviously, because there are things in the universe that we want, everybody wants. So the first area of communication that we focus on is teaching the child to request things and then giving those things to the child. That is the first form of communication, manding. And then after that comes the next level is tacting, and tacting is identifying things, labeling things in the environment. And then from there it starts to get a little bit more complex, and these are called intraverbals. And before you go there, I think you can learn a little bit more about MANs and TACs and intraverbals and so on, again, on IBT. Today is the day we refer everybody to IBT. Yeah. Institute for Behavior Training, ibehavioraltraining.com. If you go there, you'll see a lot of modules that have just to do with learning to teaching our kids how to communicate.
Wonderful. We thank you so much for being
It's
here
a pleasure,
with us
always.
today, and every time that you have the opportunity to be
Thank
here.
you so much.
Hey, thanks for watching Autism Live. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.